Good morning, brothers and sisters in the Lord. We are now on the third Sunday of Easter. May God's blessing descend on you all and on your loved ones today and in the many days to come. Our reflection today will center on the miracle worker, Venerable Aloysius Schwartz. I repeat, the miracle worker, Venerable Aloysius Schwartz. In early 1985, my MSc Provincial Superior, Father Manuel Hilario, told me that I will be sent to Korea next year. I met Monsignor Francisco Juntantoko, and upon knowing of my new assignment said, Please see Father Aloysius Schwartz. He recently arrived to start a foundation. Parenthetically, in 1983, Father Schwartz received the President Ramon Magsaysay Award. At that time, he met the Archbishop of Manila, Jaime Cardinal Sin, who in turn invited him to establish his Boys' Town and Girls' Town in Manila. So 2 days after meeting Monsignor Tantoko, I visited Father Schwartz in Old Santa Mesa. He cordially welcomed me, and we had a very, very friendly conversation. Towards the end of our meeting, he said, in 2 weeks' time, I will return to Korea. And in my absence, please celebrate Masses for my 3 Sisters of Mary 3 times a week. Well, I said yes. And this made him very happy, and from that time on, we became good friends. On May 5, 1986, 2 months after the EDSA Revolution, I left for Korea to join our 2 MSc conference there, Father Pedro Arquillas and Father Danilo Sinisa. A week after I arrived in Seoul, Korea, I visited Father Schwartz. And he gave me a tour of the huge boys' and girls' towns where he cared and educated the orphans, street children of the poor families. He requested me to celebrate regularly the Holy Mass in Korean language at King Sengwon building, attended by hundreds of very young boys and homeless old men with disabilities. Well, it was a win-win situation for me because I got to do some priestly ministry early in my stay in Korea and at the same time to put my little Korean knowledge to use. Several Sisters of Mary, founded on August 15, 1964 by Father Schwartz, and about 7 Korean Brothers of Christ, founded on May 10, 1981, cared for the residents of this facility called King Sengwon. In the meantime, the boys and girls towns in Manila flourished and accepted thousands of students. And he went on further to put up Boys' Town in Silang, Cavite. A few years later, he also established Girls' Town in Talisay, Cebu, and Boys' Town in Tungkop, Minglanilla, Cebu. All these institutions were doing very well with excellent and highly paid instructors. In the late 1990, I visited him in Busan, and he was already on a wheelchair, weak and could hardly move. He was terminally ill with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. But even in this state of deteriorating health, he still established Boys' Town and Girls' Town in Mexico. Later on, he returned to the Philippines and he died on March 16, 1992 at the Girls' Town in Manila and was buried at the Boys' Town in Silang, Cavite. Note this, that after his death, the expansion was carried further on to the poorest of the poor in Guatemala, in Brazil, in Honduras, and in Tanzania. Such is the indefatigable spirit and exemplary holiness of Father Aloysius Schwartz. Note this, that the total person at present served, fed, clothed, and hospitalized by him in 7 countries could easily reach 50,000 persons. We remember in the Gospel, Christ fed 5,000 people. No? That's small compared to the 50,000 that Father Schwartz not only fed, but clothed, educated, and hospitalized. This indeed is an unprecedented accomplishment, wonder of wonders. So on January 22, 2015, Pope Francis ordered that the decree of the heroic virtues of the Venerable Aloysius Schwartz be promulgated. This elevated the holy and virtuous priest to a status of being called Venerable Aloysius Schwartz, which is a step before being beatified and then canonized. A beautiful story indeed, brothers and sisters. And I would like to offer you a short song which is very meaningful to me and could be meaningful to us. And the song goes this way. Lord Jesus, we want to see you, to reach out and touch him and say that we love him. Open our ears, Lord, we want to hear Jesus. Open our eyes, Lord, we want to see Jesus. And glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. And may the blessing of Almighty God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit descend on you all and remain with you forever and ever. Amen. Thank you ever so much, brothers and sisters. Tenenhi kamsa teremida kumurtata ngan kum aulet. Thank you.